beautiful souls. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I just wanted to do a quick reading for the collective to look at what it is the person you are watching this reading for is not telling you. A lot of the times in relationship, no matter how long we've known someone, there are things that we may not know. And that can be because it's being intentionally hidden from us, or, the person isn't even aware of this part of themselves, or they just may be afraid to fully come forward with, their shadow side or any shadow elements at play in their lives at this moment. So this reading will give you some insight into what that shadow element is and how to deal with it. And we're going to do it in a pick a card format because that is so much fun and I really like that. If I can get this sage going. I've been burning this sage for ever and ever and ever, and I just can't seem to get a good smoke off of it. But I've meditated on the cards, clearing the energy. I'm going to use a little bit of my smudge spray as well. This is Waite sage liquid smudge that I just like to put over myself. And to allow you to choose, we have stone number 1, stone number 2, and stone number 3. So again, this is number 1, number 2, and number 3. And I'll give you a quick moment to meditate on that. Okay, so for those of you who chose stone number 1, we're going to look at who this person is showing up as in your life, like who you know them to be or who you believe them to be. All right, so we have the King of Pentacles here. So you know this person as someone who is solid, someone who has a very strong foundation. Their life is in order. They have it all together in every area of their life, career, relationship, family, they got it going on. And as far as you're concerned, they have a really big heart. They take care of everyone around them. They're that go-to person. But what side of themselves are they not showing you? Or are you refusing to see? Let's see. So this is going to show us their shadow side. Okay, so we have the daydreams and decisions. In the traditional tarot, this is the 7 of Cups. So this is all about illusions, having to make choices, not knowing what choice to make, sometimes having too many options. And maybe living in a fantasy world, so to speak, not really seeing the truth of things. This card can often indicate confusion, uncertainty, particularly around the love life. Confusion and uncertainty around what it is you really, really want. So this person, on the one hand, may be coming off as very confident, very secure, very grounded, but inside, and this is, if this is resonating, this is probably what has played a role in the difficulty you're experiencing in the relationship. And it's because they're not as sure about things as they claim they are, and they need to take some time to really look at what it is they want and get clear about it. Let's pull some more tarot just to look at, why this is an issue for them. Yep. So they're really concerned with doing the right thing. This may be someone who is a people pleaser. The King of Pentacles takes care of everyone, wants to be everything for everyone. And when the King of Pentacles is grounded and stable, then he's very much able to do that. But if he's in an energy where he's stretched too thin or not really sure of himself, then that becomes a difficult thing to do. And sometimes, a lot of the times, that's something that is also hard to acknowledge, because the desire to want to be all things to all people, or, maybe not even be all things, but the desire to want to be there for people in a certain way, to want to be that caretaker, that provider, and not be able to be that can be difficult. It can be a hard thing to admit for some people. And this could also mean, it being difficult to decide what you want to be and to who you want to be with. And so with the Hangman coming out here, I'm seeing that this person, whoever it is, the cards are picking up on right now, they need to take some time to themselves to get clear about what it is they want, who they want it with, and look at, why they've allowed all this confusion and uncertainty to come up, or look at what is the root cause of it, if that makes sense. So let's get some advice, spirit advice for them. Yeah, they need to get grounded. We have Mother Earth here, and I love the fact that it's card number 22. They really need to get grounded, reconnected to their roots, the root of who they are. With this Seven of Cups here, I'm feeling like they've really gotten or become scattered. Scattered is the word that's coming to me. They've become scattered in their energy, and they need to connect back to their divine self. And they, by reconnecting to everyone around them, this person is probably disconnected in a lot of ways, maybe even from you, because their energy is so scattered at this time. The message of this card, though, says that, the heart is open, the intentions are pure, but they have to trust that they're being guided and nurtured by Mother Earth herself, and that they are being embraced with love and beauty and wisdom, and that they do have a bright light that's, wanting to be illuminated. Mother Earth is calling out to them in love, but they have to believe in love. They have to really embrace the fact that they've been called out. Like this person, the reason why they are the King of Pentacles is because they've been called out to assist humanity in, remembering its divine connection to nature. And so that's why they have this desire to be all things to all people, and maybe even operating in this people-pleasing energy, because they truly have a desire to want to serve, to want to help, but they also have a problem saying no. They also have a problem making choices. They also have a problem being upfront and honest about what it is they really want. And that tends to keep them stuck in situations that, even if they don't want to be in them, they stay, even if it doesn't serve them, because they're so hung up on trying to do the right thing that it ends up, being the wrong thing, at least for them. And so in order for this person to live up to their true potential of healing and helping and serving, they first have to heal, help, and serve themselves. I want to just pull one more advice. Yeah. And they're really sensitive. You know, right now, they're aware of this. They're very much aware of this. And it's kind of causing them to go within, which, you know, I mean, Hangman, this is all about awareness, and getting clear within. But sometimes, you know, if we're feeling stuck, that can send us into this negative spiral, and we become consumed by fear. So, you know, right now, if you're in communication with this person, you know, handle them with, I want to say, kid gloves. You know, show a lot of compassion, show a lot of unconditional love, not at the sacrifice of yourself. You know, of course, if this person is jerking you around, if they're not making a decision about a third party, you know, keep your boundaries in place and do what you have to do for you. But recognize that this person is truly in their own journey right now, and they are in the thick of it. So, you know, this is not even personal or having anything to do with you per se. This is about them figuring out their own shit, period. And I love the fact that this card goes hand in hand with the message of people pleasing that I spoke about. You know, it says that perhaps empathetically absorbing negativity or other people's fear energies has compounded the emotions you were already dealing with connected to a situation you endured. You may have felt upset without knowing why. Or perhaps your mind has grasped for reasons to justify your sadness and you've begun to worry. So, you know, how are they going to deal with this? Well, they got to clear out anything that doesn't belong to them. They got to learn how to give that shit back. They got to learn how to, you know, protect their energy, say no when they need to, say yes when they need to, and become less concerned about how everyone else is feeling and more concerned about how they are feeling, because them not setting boundaries with certain people in their lives is negatively affecting the relationship that they have with you. Them not being aware of the fact that a lot of the shit that they're carrying around is not even theirs, but it's throwing them into this, you know, fear consciousness that's then filtering out to the people they do love and care about and want to be with. So that's shit that they, you know, have to clean up. Now, looking at where you come into all of this, let's get Spirit's advice for you. Okay, I'm going to take this one because it wanted to come out. Yeah, like I said, compassion. Compassion. This is a time where, you know, you really got to love this person just as you would yourself. And, you know, whether that means letting them go their own way to, you know, figure this out and you kind of backing off, or if this means just, you know, not letting things slide, but not putting a lot of pressure or stress around, you know, like pointing out all of the things that they're doing wrong. And you know what I'm talking about. Like when someone is kind of in this place where you're seeing them do something and it's negatively affecting you, sometimes we can be quick to kind of say, hey, like you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and it's bothering me. And while you should definitely speak up, use your voice, do so in a loving, compassionate way, because, you know, that is at the essence, at the heart of all that is anyway. And true love, embraces without judgment, embraces without condition. And if you truly love this person, that is what will help them evolve to a higher state of conscious awareness on their own. And so, you really have to look at this as a learning experience, and forgive them. That allows space in the relationship for them to then forgive themselves, because they know this is fucked up. Like they're totally aware of this, and that's why they're in this scattered like energy, because they're trying to figure out how to make the quote unquote right decision. And this card, compassion, is all about forgiveness. It's all about the understanding that, yes, forgiving someone else, particularly when they are actively doing something to hurt you, can be one of the hardest tests that you face, and that may be a lesson for you, especially if it's bringing up old wounds, old hurts buried deep inside of you, causing all of that to resurface. It may cause you to want to like lash out, like I was saying, react with rage and bitterness and angry words and be spiteful. But your work is to really not get sucked into that energy. And that's really what I'm saying here. Like I said, you could not even talk to this person again. You could say, what, not my monkey, not my circus, not my monkey, and really just walk away. But your work is to, however you respond, to do so from a loving, compassionate place. Yep. Give it to God. Give it to God. Let it go. Really, really, really let it go. Surrender it. There's nothing you can do about it. It has nothing to do with you. No matter how much potential you see in them, they have to see it for themselves. No matter how powerful they are in this situation, they have to see that and act on that for themselves. That's their lesson. And we all have to learn our own lessons. So, this card is all about something, weighing you down, things feeling like a burden. And the only way to lift it off of you is to release it and give it back to the universe, because this is not the kind of situation that you have to deal with alone. This is coming up. This is a divine thing here. This is where you call on your spirit guides, your team, send love and light, pray for this person, ask for divine help, and ask for help with letting it go, with really, seeing it through new eyes, from a fresh perspective, healing the hurt, healing the pain, and, understanding that hanging on to a problem is not what's going to resolve it. It's actually making it worse. You know what I mean? It's actually making it worse. And if you are still in communication with this person, it's the quickest way that you'll not be in communication with them anymore. It will, if you continue to, if you have been responding to the situation in a negative way, that can drive a wedge even further between you, And so this is the time to really exercise your power and just turn this thing over. Let's get one affirmation card for you. to take away from the reading? Okay, so it says, I am a precious being loved by the universe. As I increase the love I have for myself, so too does the universe. I treat myself with unconditional love. Right, and when you treat yourself with unconditional love, then you treat everyone else too. So that's the message here, you know, compassion, love, and letting go. All right, I hope this message resonated with you. On to number 2. Okay, so if you chose number 2, this reading is for you. So let's start off with looking at how this person has shown up in your life, who you are seeing them as, who you believe them to be. Okay. Oh, we have Ace of Cups. So this is saying to me that, you know, when this started off, it was fun, it was fresh, it was fulfilling, it was exciting, it was loving, and they were supportive to you in some way. They were very caring and nurturing. And you could have even saw this person as someone who was going to be a love, a companion, a partner, a mate of some kind. Like there was a solid relationship between you, or you wanted it to be, because that's how they presented themselves to you. You know, Ace of Cups is all about like that really in love. But there's something within this Ace of Cups that either it's not being shown to you, or for some reason it's being hidden by them, or you're just not able to see it, you know, or maybe you don't want to. But let's see what it is we're dealing with here. What is the side of them that is not being shown? But, you know, this is saying to me that you see them as having a good heart, as, you know, always wanting to do always wanting to like handle things in a loving way. And so that may be confusing for you right now if they're not being that way now. That may, what was I saying? That may be confusing for you if they're not being that way right now. So let's see. What's lurking in the shadows? What's lurking in the shadows of this person? Interesting. So we have love abounds, okay? And it came out in reverse. I typically don't read reversals, so when it comes out, I take that as a, ooh, yeah, that must really, really mean something. But what I'm seeing is, or what I'm hearing actually is, there's not as much love there as you think there is. But the question is, why is that? maybe, or okay, if it's not that there's not as much love as you thought there was, maybe there's something that has taken place that makes them, what I'm hearing is like when things are good, they're good. But for this person, when they go bad, they don't have any get back. They don't know like whatever's happened to them in their own life. It's hard for them to stay in this loving place and continue to be vulnerable and, fully committed after, some things have kind of gone wrong. So, trust can be eroded easily with this person. Forgiveness can be difficult with this person. They can close down easily. They may carry a lot of negative thoughts in the background, negative beliefs, limiting beliefs that don't serve them, and that can be a block for them in love. And that may be something because they seem so loving up front that, you just weren't aware of. But let's pull some clarifiers and see. Let's see a little bit more about what this Ace of Cups reversed really means for this person in this situation. Okay. Yep. We got the Emperor. So this person can be, they're definitely a take charge kind of person, but they're a take charge kind of person. They go after what they want and they go after it hardcore. So, when it's a fresh new thing, they can present to you the best side of themselves. And that's kind of how the Emperor is. Like, it's all good till you piss them off. And once you do that, it's like a hardening of the heart. Judgment reversed. Justice reversed. Yeah. And once they're pissed off, once something happens that, make them feel like they've been wronged or betrayed in some way, that's a complete shutdown. That's a complete shutdown for this person. And they're really having to do some work or they really need to do some work to move beyond that. But right now, it doesn't look like they're trying to hear that. So let's look at what Spirit's advice is for this person. They may even know that whatever is going on that's caused discord in the relationship at this time is connected to their fear from the past. I'm hearing childhood trauma, but right now they just aren't ready to deal with it, and so they're not. And that goes right along with what Spirit is suggesting this person needs to do. They need to get back to this place of unconditional love. But to do that, it's going to require them balancing themselves out here. And I love that we have, the Ace of Cups in this deck is number 1. And then we have the number 2 balance card here. Yeah, they really got to do some work to balance their emotions so they can start to see this situation more clearly and not from their fear perspective. This is all about inner work. Unconditional love first has to be given to self for it to pour out to others. Compassion has to be given to self for it to be, given to others. I'm hearing that this person feels like, or they're afraid of of being hurt. This could all be, you know, like a pure just misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? It may not have even have been that serious, like, you know, a cheating or, you know, like a stabbing in the back. It could have just been like as simple as an argument and words exchanged that were, you know, maybe not said in the greatest taste and somewhat hurtful, but whatever it is, it like triggered this person into into their rabbit hole, you know. And for them, you know, it takes a lot of energy to deal with challenges, to deal with these kinds of feelings. It totally throws them off balance. And their way of dealing with that is, you know, by ignoring it. But this card says, you know, for their advice, it's time to ask yourself why your outer world is sending you situations and circumstances that exhaust you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So what I'm also hearing is whatever is going on and whatever occurred was the direct result of them attracting things into their lives, situations, people, whatever this argument or misunderstanding, disagreement was or is, whatever it is. They're attracting that because they're carrying around, you know, these unresolved feelings, this inability to truly and authentically love themselves and therefore love others. And you may already know this about them, and you may be trying to explain this to them, but there's a hardening of the heart here that can only be remedied by them admitting this to themselves. You know, they have to be willing to let go of these emotions. They have to be willing to let go of the fear. And they have to be willing to embrace their own imperfections and the imperfections of other people. You know, right now, this is showing that their love is truly conditional. When it's this way, it's okay. When it's not this way, it's not. And yeah, they may not have shown you that initially, but that's what's on the table now. You know, you can't force someone to open their heart. You can't force someone to see the truth, your truth of a situation. So as a clarifier with this angel light card, which is all about connecting with your spiritual or religious community, joining with like-minded people, increasing your spiritual growth, I'm hearing that this person, they may be receiving guidance, they may be receiving signs, but they're resisting. You know, that right now at this time, like I said, they're not trying to hear that. They're moving away from that. They're fighting what looks to be like an awakening. And so, what's your advice? What's your advice in dealing with this situation? Interesting. 2 cards came out again. So we have let go, be still. This theme has been coming up a lot in the readings that I've been doing. This whole notion of just letting go and surrendering. A lot of the times we can get so caught up, particularly as empathic people, light workers, star seeds, healers, people who care and who want to help other people. A lot of the times we can get so committed to wanting to help, change, fix, work with another person on their issues, and the reality of it is number one, no one needs saving. Everyone is exactly where they are. So as hurtful as it can be to watch someone you care about suffer in some way, even if that suffering is hurting you, there's this desire to want to, try to get them to see things, see the light or see the error of their ways and help them change. But and that tends to then stress us out when we're not seeing any change. And so that's why we have to let go and let spirit do its job. Let divine timing, let divine guidance be at play, because it's not like they're not receiving it. They are. This is all about that saying, you can walk the horse to the well, but whether or not the horse drinks, well, it's totally up to the horse. So we also have the Be Still card here. This is about letting things be what they are, being with things exactly as they are and as they aren't, and not trying to effort and change it, no matter what kind of conflict and chaos it's bringing up within you. This is the time where you get to heal whatever is hurting in you as a result of this, and let this other person do what they have to do. You really got to lean into what you're feeling, what you're learning as a result of this situation, and let it be. Not allowing this situation to trigger you, not allowing this situation to stress you, and not allowing this situation to cause you to react in ways that take you out of character. You have to remember that who you are is best seen when you are challenged, pressured, and put to the test, right? So how are you going to react? How are you going to respond? Is it going to be with rage? Is it going to be with spite, bitterness? Or is it going to be with peace, love, and compassion? Well, to get to that place of peace, love, compassion, you got to let this negative energy around the situation, all the hurt feelings, all of the pain, anger, regret, longing for change, let all of that go. And know that no matter what is moving around you, the only thing that matters is what's moving within you. So yeah, so we have unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worries. Give them to God for healing and solutions. That's interesting. The same message, basically the same message came up in the number one picker card option. So maybe you want to go back and watch that message too. It may relate. But this is all about releasing. You don't want to carry this into the new year. You want to, really, like, this is your work. If, we all have, whenever a situation comes up where there's conflict, regardless of who's at fault, there's always, and even if it's not your fault per se, there's always a lesson to be learned. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come up. You wouldn't have created the situation. And by that, I mean your higher self, your soul would not have signed up to attract this person into your life, have this experience with them, if there wasn't something for you to learn. And so your lesson here is to really learn to just let go, allow people to be who they are going to be while you remain in character. When I was younger, we used to say, well, in pocket, like being in alignment with who you are. You got to remain all the way in pocket in this situation, and not allow situations outside of you to stress you and put strain on you. And so this is where meditation comes in. This is where affirmations comes in. This is where prayer comes in. This is where self-love and caring for yourself comes in. And it would serve both of you in this situation, but this is specifically Spirit's advice for you. So let's get an affirmation to wrap up this reading. Oh my God. So I really think you should go back and watch number 1, because the same exact affirmation came up. I treat myself with unconditional love. I treat myself with unconditional love. That's the message here. That's the theme. That's what has to happen. This started out with unconditional love. Somehow that became lost in the fray. Somehow that got turned upside down. Somehow our, egos came into play, and lower vibrations crept in. And so we got to get back to the heart of who we are. And it says, I am a precious being, loved by the universe. As I increase the love I have for myself, so too does the universe. All right, my number 2s, that is your message. I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know what you're feeling about this. I would love to hear from you. And thanks for tuning in. On to number 3. Hi, number 3s. All right, let's see what's going on with all of you who chose number 3 for this reading. So, who has this person been showing up as to you? Who are you believing this person to be? Who did you think they were? Who are you hoping they are? What have they shown you, or what is it you've seen in them? Let's see. All right. Oh, King of Wands. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this person probably showed up very practical, very down to earth, very grounded. Not too much frills. Very knowledgeable, smart, passionate about what it is that's important to them, high vibe, social, go-getter, focused, driven kind of personality, attractive person, goal-oriented, and there may have been a lot of chemistry, sexual attraction between you two. So I'm hearing that this started off as, and I'm picking up on male energy. So I'm feeling like, this was a man in your life. Or it just could be someone who embodies a lot of masculine energy. But I am picking up very strongly that this is a man. So what is it that this King of Wands, though, has been keeping close to the chest? Not necessarily letting be known about themselves. Or what is it that... Oh, too many. What is it that you haven't seen about this person, or that you may just now be seeing, and you're trying to figure out, like, what the heck? This is totally not what I was expecting. This is like left field. Okay, so yep, let's see. I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to get one more here, but I feel like there's a story playing out. Oh, I'm feeling like there's some hurt here. There may be some things this person has not told you about their past. And they may have even gone ghost on you. But so however this person is appearing, as grounded, as practical, as logical as they may seem, this person has a lot of unresolved emotion, a lot of insecurity. To the point where it can cause them to lose their perspective. They may become overly attached, and they may not even seem like it. But they've pulled back, and they probably did so abruptly, but that's because they're in this place where they have some things going on inside of them that they really, really, really need to resolve and look at. There's this like dark shadow side of them where they're not, that causes them to, like, when it comes up, it causes them to like pull back and retreat. So they may have just gone like cold all of a sudden, like it was real, real hot. Then it just like fizzled out and became cold, like, and not even fizzled out, like it was like lights out. Like you're like, whoa, like what even just happened here? Like, why is this person suddenly, who I've known to be this way, acting this way, not talking to you, being evasive, being dismissive, not returning phone calls, texts. And it could be that, it could all, like, if it's not that dramatic, it could just be that this person is the kind of person where they have to have like a lot of alone time in order to process everything that goes on inside of them. That could be the way that they, the only way that they can truly get into balance with themselves. But with the root chakra card here, we have, so in traditional tarot, this is the Hermit, and the Star card. So I'm feeling like they just have not been totally 100% upfront and honest about things that they're still carrying, or something that happened between you two that they haven't even told you about. Like, yeah, you know, something hurt them, or they picked up on something, they noticed something that scared them or created doubt, created some anxiety of some sort, and they just pulled away. But let's get some clarifying cards to look at this a little further. So what is this all about? So, I mean, we're talking about their shadow side, and the moon comes out. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. There's a dark side to this person that they really don't want anyone else to see. I'm hearing that, you know, it may even scare them a little bit. And it's connected to something. I'm hearing something physical, something, you know, something they may be embarrassed about that happened to them physically, you know, some sort of trauma. But whatever it is, they don't like to talk about it. They don't like to, it's like they've buried it deep. They've buried it deep inside. And I'm hearing this is really how they, you know, tend to operate. They definitely see you as someone who makes them, you know, feel like really, really good. They feel whole and complete with you, but like that has nothing to do with them not wanting to share this side of themselves with you, you know. And they could also feel overextended in the relationship. Like, I feel like there's some sort of unhealthy attachment that's connected to this trauma that they've experienced, whatever it is. And, you know, I'm hearing physical, but it could also be like an emotional thing. And it's something that they really need to work through, but they're afraid to do it. Like, it's not that this person isn't awake. They're awake. They're aware, but they have their own way of dealing with things that hurt them and that have hurt them. That, you know, they keep that part of themselves to themselves. And what I'm also hearing is that it has caused them to have to be, or not have to, but it's kind of pushed them into this hermit mode because they haven't been able to carry on healthy relationship as a result of this behavior. So let's see what Spirit, okay, Spirit's advice, communication. Yeah, they've really got to open up. They really got to open up here and be forthcoming about whatever it is, you know, they're hiding, and causing them to be isolated. Yep. They got to be upfront about their feelings. They really do. They got to be forthcoming. They got to say what's going on. Like, yep. And that'll take a lot of anxiety off of them, because it actually, whether you know it or not, whether it seems like it or not, it stressed them out to live this way. It does not feel good. There's some sort of secret or something that's, caused them shame and pain, and it puts them in this place of like wanting to like latch on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is in the relationship with this person, like they on one moment they act like they really, really want you, can't live without you, and then in the next moment they push you away. And it's because they've, because of whatever this is, they've developed this pattern of forming unhealthy attachments, and they are aware of it because, it feels good for a while, but then when it comes to the point where they need to express and share and, show up and say, hey, this is what's going on for me, it doesn't feel good anymore, and they just want to push the person away. So it's like, it's like it puts them on this emotional roller coaster, and then it brings it all back up again. And it's like they keep, I like see them on this wheel of like going through this repetitive cycle of reliving, whatever this trauma, baggage is, experience that they're carrying. So, communicating about all of this could really help them open up and get this burden off of their back, as well as allow space for someone to really love them, and they can take down this mask of, hiding behind their accomplishments, hiding behind this facade of having it all together, and, being this person that everyone looks up to, and just, sharing some of the darker parts of themselves. So let's get the advice for you. I don't know, somber, like a darker energy came over me as I was reading that. So I'd be really interested to know how this is resonating for those of you who chose number 3, because this is definitely someone really specific that I'm picking up on. So how are you going to deal with this? What is Spirit's advice for you to deal with this person, with this situation? Okay. We keep getting a lot of the same cards coming up, and I just think it's because we're in this time of year where it's all about releasing, embracing change, being with what is, however it is, and allowing things to just show up however they're going to show up. So we have the Shine card, and we have the Be Still card, and so this card came out in number 2, in the number 2 option, the Be Still card. So of course, this is self-explanatory. No matter what's going on around you, whatever storm you find yourself in, whatever situation, however this is making you feel, it may be like they may be running away and you want to chase after, but this is saying, or you may be, putting a lot of effort into trying to because I keep hearing addiction, like addiction to you, or, you know, some sort of unhealthy attachment or addiction to something is present here. And you may be doing a lot, putting a lot of energy into trying to change that. And, you know, we have to remember that, yes, we are lights. You know, we are lights here to help humanity grow and develop and return to our true divinity. But our job is not to change anyone. Our job is not to save anyone. Our job is to shine our lights and shine them brightly and invite other people to step into that light, not forcefully pull them in, not attempt to beam our light onto any one person. Our job is to just shine and be the example of the change we wish to seek. Because when we are efforting so much and trying to change, you know, other people, that drains us. That drains us, and it actually makes us less effective than we would be if we were to, you know, be still and allow and be with what is as it is. And I think you know what I mean here. I'm not saying, you know, not to help. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, you know, watch someone, you know, go down the wrong path and, you know, stand by and do nothing or say nothing. But you know the boundary within yourself. You know, and you know when you're crossing it. So perfect segue into the clarifier for the advice card for you. And this says to be gentle with yourself. It says you've been through a lot and you need time to heal and recover. Like I said, this is heavy energy here. This has had somebody totally feeling heavy in the head and the heart, and just, you know, upset, just weighed down, triggered, feeling lost. And so this is the time to really rest and move out of that harsh negative energy, however this situation is playing out. You know, at this point, you know, you really have to put yourself first here. And quite honestly, if you're not taking care of you, you're no good to this person anyway, or to anyone for that matter. So, you know, it's all about relaxing, self-care. When I feel the kind of energy that I'm feeling in this particular situation, you know, a lot of sea salt baths, a lot of herbal bathing, a lot of mindful showering, a lot of just cleansing my energy, cleansing my space, protecting and shielding my aura before I'm around other people, and clearing after I'm around other people, limiting my interactions with people who I know weigh me down, not pressuring myself to do more than what feels good to me, in my work, in my family life, and anything like sitting my ass down when I want to and when it feels like I need to. And then also not caring less, but, you know, just shining my light and not trying to convince other people to step into it with me. Because there's definitely a transformation taking place here. And it may it may be happening at a very slow pace. You know, like Hermit energy is not fast. Like it's slow. And King of Wands is, King of Wands is a go-getter, but not until he's 100% made his mind up that that's what he wants to fully do. And when he does, then, you know, it's like things start to happen like that. But, you know, this person is very committed to whatever they commit to, right or wrong. Makes sense? So, you know, trying to push this person before they're ready, it's like spinning your wheels and tiring you out. But, you know, take heart in the fact that, you know, I do see completion in sight. You know, there is healing energy present. And so let that happen in divine timing. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. So let's get an affirmation card. And wow, this popped out. It says, I think and say only what I want. I think and say only what I want to create in my life. I am more than adequate for all I need to do. I am willing to see only my magnificence. So yeah, you know, see the good in the situation, which is all I just mentioned. You know, this person, for whatever, you know, they may not be, there's one thing that you know about them for sure. Once they commit to something, they do it. And it looks like slow movement, you know, in that direction. But you know, they're also very, I want to say bullheaded, like, you know, a little bit stubborn. So they do things in their own timing. And so while you're waiting on that, you want to keep a real high positive vibration around the situation, the way you're talking about it, the way you're thinking about it, the way you're talking to them, the way you're talking to them if you're in communication with them, and, you know, sending that light, sending that light and love, and continuing to do your own healing work, because that, you know, as we heal ourselves, we heal others. So being that shining example. All right, number 3s, I hope that message resonated with you. I'm really happy to be doing this with you, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know how this resonated with you, and we will be talking again soon. All right, peace.